So what would your advice be for a young investor just starting out?
Take chances. This is something me and my family didn't do because we were raised in the Depression. We were
Right.
afraid to take chances. Jump in there and take chances.
You were saying, had I taken more chances, I would have been, a
Right.
multimillionaire, which you are, but an even larger multimillionaire.
Much.
Welcome, everybody, to our Ladders and Leverage podcast. Today, we have a very special guest, my 95-year-old grandmother, who has played such a huge role in shaping my life, not only mine, but Marissa's. You and Grandpa made sure that we had such an incredible childhood, helping us financially so we could just enjoy being kids. But beyond that, you were a huge influence on the way that, we think about life, business, and especially real estate. And your journey is nothing short of remarkable. I mean, you were born in the Bronx, then you moved back to Czechoslovakia, and after your father passed when you were just 2 years old, but as World War II loomed, you quickly returned to the U.S. in 1936 to escape Hitler's invasion, and you grew up in Brooklyn, and later
Not Brooklyn, the Bronx.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, geez, get it right.
The Bronx.
There's a big
I
difference.
know you did say that to me yesterday. And later, thank you for correcting me. And later you made your way to California where you and your mom built an impressive real estate portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
You owned over 10 single-family homes, managed another shopping center, and still owning your own shopping center today. And so it's over 60 years of experience while holding down a regular job, raising a family, and you handled all aspects of the property management yourself, which is a lot in itself. Often when buyers had difficulty securing loans, you said that you would carry back the mortgage yourself. And then looking back, you mentioned that most of your properties were debt-free. But if you had to do it all over again, you may have done things a little different, which we'll get into. But I also want you to know that you were a big inspiration to me, Marissa, when we were younger. When we were just dating, we would visit Grandpa in Palm Springs. And while the guys were out golfing, Marissa told me that she would stay back and she would always pick your brain on real estate. And Grandpa, and he would always say it every time, even when I first went out there, he just knew Marissa was the one.
Yeah.
And he would always ask me and say, "Did you put her under contract yet?" I said, "Grandpa, not yet. We're just started dating," but he knew. And what a positive influence he was for us in our marriage. His first name was George, and we named our first daughter Georgia after him. So, Grandma, welcome to the show.
Oh, well, thank you. You did a good job introducing me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I got a lot of my speaking skills from you.
No, from Grandpa.
Grandpa, that's right. Oh, how funny. So let's just start from the beginning. You were born in the Bronx, not Brooklyn, but then you moved back to Czechoslovakia after your father passed when you were just 2 years old, and then the Nazi...
And Aunt Renee was three months.
Your sister was 3 months old. So the Nazi invasion was growing, and you returned to the U.S. To avoid that in 1936. So that is just unfathomable to me to even think about. What was that experience like for you?
It was very interesting because in Czechoslovakia, we lived on a farm, and it was a very small town. We had an outhouse. I mean, we didn't have indoor plumbing or anything like that. So when we came to the United States, my mother rented an apartment in the Bronx, and I was so impressed with the indoor bathroom. And at that time, the toilet, it had a chain from coming from the ceiling, and that's how you flushed it. And I would pull that chain and constantly look. I couldn't believe the water would disappear and the poop and everything else.
Wow.
And of course, by the time we came back to the United States, I didn't speak English. I spoke Czechoslovakian, then Hungarian, and Yiddish.
So then you moved back to the Bronx, and not being able to speak English or any of that. Like, what was the experience that you had in the Bronx like?
It was rough. It was rough. The first teacher I had, it was first grade. She didn't have patience for me.
No.
No, because I couldn't speak English. And she would put me in front of the class and hold up a card to read. In those days, that's how you learn to read. And of course, I couldn't read because I couldn't speak English. And she would deliberately put me there. She was nasty. And so they kept me back because I never got anywhere. But the next instructor I had was an angel. She would keep me after class and help me learn English. And that was in first grade. And the school I went to was 4 years. And when I was in fourth grade, they had a spelling contest, and I entered it, and I won. And that teacher, her name was Mrs. Regelson. I didn't like her. She was the mean one. And Mrs. Williams was the nice one. So they were sitting in the front row, and I looked at them, at Mrs. Regelson, so proud of myself that I won the spelling contest.
That's amazing.
Yes.
To be able to remember the names of the teachers in fourth grade.
Yes.
Wow.
In first grade.
Oh,
Yeah.
in first grade. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. So curious, when, the other day we were having your birthday dinner and you just turned 95 and you had mentioned your first job. Will you talk about that? How old you were and what you did?
Yes. Well, actually, my very first job was when I was 10. Some relative who had a garment factory, they had me on Sunday to sew buttons. So I'd sewed buttons on Sunday. And this guy he never paid me, so I quit that. But my regular job was when I was 14. I lied about my age during the summers, the school break, to get the job in a factory. And you had to be 16, so I lied about my age. And I was a powder puff operator.
Wow.
Made powder puffs.
What's a powder puff?
Oh, it's a puff that you put powder on your face.
Oh.
Yeah. Like in a compact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back then. Okay. So fast forward, you moved to California at what age and why did you choose to move
I
there?
moved here when I was 20. And the reason I moved here was because my cousin passed away giving birth to a baby. And my mother's sister, that's my aunt, took it very hard naturally. So my mother sent me to comfort her.
Oh, okay. So you came by yourself.
I came by myself to stay with my aunt.
Wow.
At that time, I was here quite a while, and that's where I met my first husband.
Oh, okay.
And so I decided that's where I wanted to stay. I didn't want to go back to the Bronx. I never liked city life.
Yeah. When you first came here, what city did you live in?
It was Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you moved to Los Angeles.
Yes.
Okay. So you moved here, you met your first husband, and then how did you end up in real estate?
Let's see. I moved to California in 1950 when I was 20. And my mother and father, my stepfather, stayed back. They ended up in New Jersey raising chickens.
Okay.
And they wanted to come to California because this is where I was living to raise chickens.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
What happened is my husband and I, his name was Bernie. So Bernie and I looked for property and we found it in Simi Valley, where I am now. And we found 2 acres and it was $2,500 a piece. That was $5,000.
Wow.
We built a little house.
How much did it cost you to build the house? Do you remember?
Well, that house only cost $6,000.
Wow, $6,000.
And that house is still there.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's right next to the shopping center.
Wow.
Yeah.
Apricot
No, on Cochrane.
on Cochrane.
Yeah. So we had the bare land, and my parents came and they built a house right next to mine, which they eventually moved over to Apricot
Okay.
because we needed room for the chicken ranch.
Mhm.
They built the chicken ranch, and I ended up getting a job at Rocketdyne.
Okay.
And I used to feed the chickens before I went to work at Rocketdyne
Wow.
until, they got to be too many chickens. We ended up with 10,000 chickens.
10,000 chickens
Yeah,
on
and that
2
was
acres.
that was considered a small ranch at that
Wow.
time. Ranches, you really needed to make a living at least 250,000 chickens.
250,000 chickens
Yeah.
is what you need to make a living on a
Uh-huh.
chicken farm. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
So the chicken farm, is that where my dad grew up?
Yeah.
Were the kids involved in helping out with any of that, or was it just you and Grandpa?
And Grandma, Grandma took care of the eggs, separating the large, the medium, and the small.
That
So you
is-
had the chicken farm, and then what was the next property that you ended up buying?
Well, what happened there is the area started developing,
Mm-hmm.
and so we knew it was a matter of time we had to get rid of the chickens. And so we ended up selling all of our chickens to someone in Newbury Park.
Okay.
And we had an offer to build the market. At that time it was Chase Brothers Market, that
Okay.
drive-in market. And so we started with just that one building. And then we moved Grandma's house to Apricot. And where the 4 stores are, that's where we built 4 stores.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that you built that shopping center as
Yes.
well. Wow. So did you have to get a loan to do the construction, or did you have to pay cash?
We paid as we went along because it was very reasonable.
Okay. Not like today's
The whole
construction prices.
the whole thing cost $25,000.
$25,000 to build your whole shopping center.
To build the 4 stores.
To build the 4 stores.
And the market.
And the market. Okay. And then later you added the stores in the back.
In the back, yeah.
Okay. And then the other, where the Wood Reviver is now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, to put it in context for the listeners, so the shopping center is located still in Simi Valley, and so you guys you originally built the drive-through market, which is still in, like, people still go through and do
Yeah.
the drive-through, which
Yeah.
I don't know any other.
I mean, it's great. If you need milk, you don't
Yeah.
have to get out of the car. You literally can just drive through.
So
Yeah.
she has that, and then you have 4 stores in the front, like
Right.
a little strip, and then behind that, behind the
The market.
market, you have a single building.
Two buildings.
2 buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
have the Pilates studio and then the gunsmith and then the Wood Revivers back there.
So yeah, I remember growing, like, that's what I remember is the stores. I remember Apricot, and I remember Grandpa, like, he would take me over there, and he was the maintenance guy, and he
Right.
would go fix this and that. And I to this day, I feel like that the values that I learned from, Grandpa, he was just such a hard worker. I mean,
Yes.
like,
He never stopped.
right? Never.
Yeah.
He never stopped, and he
That's
was
who you
always
take after.
all right.
Well, and he was also a firefighter.
Yep.
LA City firefighter
That's
back
right.
before they wore masks and just ran into burning buildings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he told me so many cool stories of. I mean, that's why we were talking on the way here, driving to this. We wish we would have done this podcast with him because he was just such a vibrant character. I mean, so funny, witty, hardworking. And yeah, we missed out on that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. So you own the shopping center,
Mhm.
and then how did you end up getting to 10 houses?
Well, we over the years, we would buy one house at a time. Actually, most of the half of them, I would say, was just my parents. They would
Okay.
buy it, and they would pay cash for it.
Okay.
And I mean, they were so reasonable in those days.
Right.
So we rented.
So you would rent
Yeah.
those ones out.
And that's another job I had, is I never hired anyone to manage the properties. I was the manager and
Right.
raising kids, working at Rocketdyne.
Wow.
Doing the books. Excellent
and doing the
bookkeeper.
books, yes.
One of the best bookkeepers I've ever met.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So if going back to the stores, what was, if you could do something over, would you manage it yourself? Would you have done anything different? Had different types of tenants? Any lessons that you learned from your time at the stores?
Yes, I definitely would have done something different. Right next to the shopping center are two older houses, which we owned. They were zoned for apartments, and the shopping center, of course, is zoned commercial. And I would have. We didn't have the money, to build bigger things, but I would have borrowed. What I've learned over the years is not to pay cash for everything. And the reason we did is we were raised in the Depression,
Right.
and that was our nature. It gave us a feeling of security. But if it were today, I would say do things on other people's money, loans. And I could have developed that shopping center a little bit better, added, not wasted space. And the two houses next door that we ended up selling, I would have built apartments.
Yeah.
And I did get an estimate on how much it would cost, and it was very, very little in those days. But, it didn't have the money I have today.
Right.
And so I kept putting it off. And by putting it off, the prices kept going up and up and up and up.
Right. So you held the note for some of these houses.
Yes. The few of the houses that we bought, in those days, it was difficult to get a loan.
Okay.
So I carried back.
Why was it difficult to get a loan in those days?
I can't remember. It had to do with the banks. We go through periods where it's difficult to get loans.
Yeah.
Right. They're much more conservative.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in order to get it sold, we would carry back the paper, the notes and trust deeds.
Do you remember what interest rate you would charge?
Well, the interest rate was higher in those days.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I about 9-10%.
Oh, that's actually lower than I thought it would be.
Well, that's because we made things easy for whoever bought the property.
Did you ever have any issues with holding notes and ever have to take back a property?
Never had to.
No?
Nope.
Wow. That's
No,
great.
the only time we ever finished with the note was when they sold and paid us off.
Was there would you recommend, like, let's just, for our listeners out there and people, different avenues of real estate, would you recommend that to investors, holding notes? Was that something that you found valuable?
Yeah, that is valuable, and you don't have to be as good-natured as I was. Charge the proper interest rate.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a good way to retire. It's
Right.
a good way to sell a house.
Right. Definitely more low maintenance than owning the house and renting it out because you don't have to deal with any of the issues on the property. You just receive the payment. So, yeah, that's interesting.
So looking back to kind of what you were saying, most of your properties were debt-free, but if you had to do it all over again, you would have leverage more to own more and better properties. I remember you saying,
Yeah.
and I know Marissa and I use leverage to our advantage. And I think probably from the conversations that you guys had, because Marissa's more involved in the financial part of our business. So that's really helped us grow in our portfolio. So what would your advice be for a young investor just starting out?
Take chances. This is something me and my family didn't do because we were raised in the Depression. We were afraid to take chances. But jump in there and take chances, I would advise for people today.
Yeah, that's what I remember. That's one of the key things I remember from talking to you, 20 years ago in Palm Springs. And you were saying, had I taken more chances, I would have been, a multimillionaire, which you are, but an even larger multimillionaire.
Much.
And much more. And it's true. And so, that's like with Danny and I mean, we do syndications where we're getting loans, and then we're collaborating and pulling together investors to put their money all together, because it's so difficult this time with how expensive properties are, how expensive construction is. And, it's interesting to me that as we've moved up in larger deals, that actually once you get to a $3 million loan and above, it's easier because the banks will then give you draw lines for the construction. Whereas when we bought smaller deals, we had to raise the money for the construction, which then dilutes your return. And so I look at it like, well, you really should try to go bigger sooner, because they actually want that and they help you more, versus trying to do a smaller deal and get your feet wet. And then you have to come up with all this cash. So that's one thing that always stayed in my mind from our conversations was like, okay, figure it out. Don't be so afraid and wanting to stay safe and go for that bigger deal, because it definitely pays off. And the banks actually kind of more reward you for it.
And you have a better understanding of that type of investment than I did, because you majored in business, went to Pepperdine and got your degrees there. I never went to college.
Yeah.
So you have that over me.
Yeah.
And you're able to invest bigger, and things are different today too than they were, when I was your age.
But I think it's just so amazing that you came from the Bronx, you moved here, to console your aunt, and then your family moves out here, you start a chicken farm, and then slowly by piece by piece, you ended up owning, a shopping center, another shopping center, 10 houses. Then even with no college degree, figuring out, what, I can be the bank, and doing seller financing back when it was not even, as well known, and then holding on to those. And you still have the shopping center now and still do the books today. Are you going to give up the books now at 95 to anyone else, or are you going to still do them?
Well, I'm still doing it. And Aunt Cindy keeps saying to me, Mom, when are you going to retire?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, she's taken over part of it. She's taken over the leases and anything to do with collections, and also repairs. I don't have to do that anymore.
But you haven't taught her how to do the debits and credits of bookkeeping yet, no?
Well, she keeps asking me to teach her. And
I mean, you're not getting any younger. You might want to teach her sooner than later.
Who's going to take over the books when you give it up?
Well, right now I'm working on it, because on my files, I have little notes on every file as to what to do with it, when to destroy it, how long to keep it. I'm working on it.
Yeah. I love it.
You didn't answer my question, though.
What's your question?
Who's going to take over the books when you're done with doing the books?
Aunt Cindy.
Aunt Cindy.
Yeah.
Aunt Cindy, I know you're going to listen to this, so you better start practicing, because I've seen Marissa do the books, and it's not very easy.
Not in the beginning. It takes a little while to understand. So she might want to take an adult school class on it.
I'm also designing from Excel.
Oh, you're designing from Excel, your own bookkeeping program.
I've been doing that all along.
You don't use QuickBooks or any other sort of
No, I've designed my own from Excel.
Oh.
All my bookkeeping is done that way.
Wow. I'm impressed.
That's impressive.
So you have like a fixed asset schedule and everything going? Look at you. Shirley, that is amazing.
I mean, all Cindy's going to have to do is plug in the numbers. It's going to add for her, tell her where to put it.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
We might need to take that, and then
I
we'll
know.
just turn it into a property management software app.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
take Grandma Shirley's Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you and Grandpa had such an impact on me, or myself, Amy, Marissa, and now even our kids. What does it mean to see the family carrying on the real estate tradition that we learned from you?
I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled to see how successful you are. I really am.
It's
Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
oh, thank
I really
you.
am.
Well, I think it's so important. Like, we buy here locally. And one of the things that I love to tell our investors is that you can drive by with your kids and show them and say, I own that apartment building. And I think that exposure to young minds is so important that then they can see, oh, wow, so I can do this. Because I think if you're not exposed to certain things, you think it's so unobtainable.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things, when I met Danny and then, the stores came up and all these things, I was like, this is so cool that you were exposed to this, where in my life, I wasn't exposed to that. We didn't own any sort of commercial real estate or rental properties. I think it's awesome. Like some nights I'll be doing rolling quarters and my daughters will have their friends over spending the night. And they're like, why do you have so many quarters? And, they're middle schoolers. So they're just like, what is going on with your mom? She's sitting there rolling quarters in the middle of the night. And, I explained to them, we have apartment buildings, they have laundry machines. So then we have to roll the quarters. Now I have our 10-year-old Livia rolling the quarters. So I just feel like that really promotes them that there's no limit to their potential.
Right.
And whether they invest in real estate and go that route or they start their own business. But I think that's just so important. I mean, don't you think that influenced your life in wanting to get into real estate?
100%. I mean, the stores, I always, when I was younger, I used to think it was such a cool thing that, my grandparents owned this shopping center. And yes, exactly what you said, being exposed to that made it inside of me like this drive to want to be in real estate. And I can already see it with, especially Livia. She's into rolling the quarters. She's starting to see it all. In the beginning, I would take her to the properties and wasn't as into it. The other day I come home and she's like, Dad, do you have any more quarters? And I was like, I just gave you some last week. I got to let that build up a little.
Yeah.
So it's very, so thank you for that. Thank you for the exposure.
Well, I just want to say on the way here, Danny said, you see that apartment building?
Yeah.
He says, we just put an offer on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you get it.
Oh,
I was so
cute.
happy to see that. That's really nice, and it's a nice location.
Yeah, great location.
Yes.
Great location.
We're hoping for a counter offer today. So that would be a fun one to
Well, good luck, though.
Thank you. Are you interested in investing?
I have enough to do.
Okay.
And
All
I'm
right.
trying to retire.
I know.
This is a passive investment, so you don't actually have to do anything. We do it all. You just let your money sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll send you the info.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, any advice for Marissa and myself as we continue growing in real estate?
There's nothing I can advise you. The two of you are just doing such a great job.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so proud of you. You have absolutely no idea.
Thank you, Grandma.
We appreciate it. We owe a lot of it to you. So
For sure.
Well, thank you.
At the end of our show, we always do a final 5. So it's 5 questions for you to answer.
Yeah, I hope it's easy.
I told you.
There's no grading.
Yeah, you won't get graded. So I think we already answered it. So how much was your first, not your first house, but your real estate investment that you bought, like for your single family?
Well, actually, Grandpa bought, my stepfather bought a house in the Knolls, and I think it was like $800, a little house.
Oh my gosh.
What is one piece of advice you wish you had when you started investing?
When I started investing?
Yeah, what's something that you wish you had and had known?
Basically, just taking a chance.
Taking a chance. Yeah,
Jumping in there.
for sure.
Diving in.
I love it.
This one's kind of cool. I like this question. If you could have dinner with anyone in history, who would it be and why?
It's my grandmother. She lived with us. It was her house that we lived in when we were in Czechoslovakia, and when we had to come back to the United States, she and my grandpa came with us, and we lived in the Bronx. She was just such a giving. She was such a good person. She was very soft spoken. I never heard her raise her voice. And here she was, half of her children in the United States, the other half still in Europe. We were in the process of trying to bring them here, and of course, it was too late. Hitler took over and, put them in the furnace, and they all died. And what I admire about her, I never saw her cry, but I'm sure she cried by herself away from me. She didn't want us kids to get upset or know anything about it. And she took care of us. My mother and stepfather worked in a factory in New York, made very little money. So my grandmother actually took care of us, raised us, did all the cooking and housework. And I was so proud of her when she became a citizen. I used to stand just like the teacher with cards and teach her how to speak English. She wanted so to learn. My grandfather was not that way. He never got his citizenship, but my grandmother did. Anyway, I just had the greatest respect. I keep her picture in my living room with her candlesticks that she used to light, that she got when she was married, and she used to light them every Friday night for the Sabbath.
Wow.
I love that.
Well, I'm sure she's looking down and is just so proud of the life that you've created.
Thanks to her, just like your thanks to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
her legacy is still moving on with us, from what you've taught us. So, wow, that's beautiful. Okay, next question. And everyone probably is really looking forward to this answer because we all want to live to 95 and be as in shape and sharp-minded as you. So how do you keep your mind and body so sharp at this wonderful age of 95?
Well, first of all, I'm still working. So, the
Keep
mind.
working, okay.
Yes, I'm still adding and so forth. My fingers don't move like they used to. I used to type 110, 120 words a minute.
Wow.
Now my fingers are not going. They can't find the numbers, the letters. I've done puzzles. I think doing puzzles keeps your mind going. And I line dance. I love dancing, and I love music. And I keep up with the current events.
And I have actually taken Grandma's line dancing class about 15 years ago and could not keep up with the seniors at the Rancho Casablanca. I was like, this is crazy. She taught me the Cupid Shuffle, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, yes, here we are.
Yeah.
This 80-year-old woman is teaching me the Cupid Shuffle.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. And I was struggling to keep up.
Yeah, I taught line dancing then, and I would teach for 3 hours without stopping. Now I'm still teaching, but I can't do that anymore.
No? How many hours are you teaching now?
Well, I went from 1 hour to 45 minutes.
Oh,
really tone it down.
Just 45 minutes of dancing at 95.
But then I go to the senior center 3 times a week and dance there.
Oh, look at you.
And that's a 1 hour class.
Wow. I mean, I just hope that, and I hope I live to 95, and I hope I am this active.
I hope you do too.
As sharp as you are. That's amazing.
So keep working.
Yep.
Do crossword puzzles.
And anything that keeps your brain from rotating.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, because
you don't want to go dormant.
Yeah. Because they say if you're not growing, you're dying. So you're continually feeding your mind.
And moving your body. Moving your brain and your body.
Yeah. And dance is really important. They say that, right?
Having exercise and so forth.
Yeah, having your brain connect to your body.
Yeah, I played golf, up until I was like 85.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
That's
Oh my
amazing.
gosh.
Okay, and our final question, what is the biggest key to living a happy and fulfilling life?
My feeling is being honest, sincere, loving, helping other people, and being with your family. Family is the most important thing to me. I love my family. I have such a wonderful family, including you two.
No, you do. I feel very fortunate that I married into this
Yeah,
family, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah, you
definitely.
guys are wonderful. I mean, that was amazing. So thank you so much, Grandma Shirley, for being on our show and influencing our lives and giving us the exposure and knowledge to real estate investing and
Mhm.
all of your advice. I just love you and thank you.
Well, I love you too.
Thank you,
My
Grandma.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast today, Ladders and Leverage, with our guest, Grandma Shirley, at the young age of 95. We hope you all enjoyed her advice and insights from investing from the 1930s and forward. And we hope to see you on the next episode.